Hello everyone and welcome to this lesson. So in the previous lesson we saw that how we can reset the root password or any other user's password directly from the grub menu. Now you may be thinking that if someone has a physical access to your computer or your device, they could possibly reset your password and get into your computer. And you must be thinking there should be an additional layer of security that he or she or maybe any attacker or a third-party person should not be able to access the grub menu and modify those entries. So for that, we have a solution. We can basically put a password or lock our grub itself. So in this lesson, we are going to see how you can keep an additional layer of security by making a password for the grub, which is basically protecting it. So it will be a two-factor authentication for you. That is, whenever you need to start your computer, you need to give the authentication, that is the correct username and password for the grub, and then the final login screen, which is the user login, that is root and the password. So let's see this, how to set up a grub-based authentication mechanism. So first, I'm going to open up my terminal, as you can see over here, and in the terminal first let's verify which is the user currently logged in. So I am root. These are the steps to set up the grub password. The first step is to generate an encrypted hash value. So for that the command is grub make password in the format which is pbkdf2. Now, if you're not aware about what is pbkdf2, then it is basically a hashing algorithm. So it applies a pseudo-random function such as a hash-based message authentication code, which is HMAC, to the input password or passphrase that we are going to provide. That is, let's say my password is going to be root, with a salt value which is random, and repeats the process many times to produce a derived key which is basically secure. Now it utilizes that specific key for further subsequent operations or other actions wherein it needs to provide the authentication. So let's see this, how it actually works. So I need to type this command and hit enter. Now this is asking for the password or passphrase that you need to provide. As you can see over here, I have provided my password as root, and it has generated successfully a hash of my password, as can be seen onto the screen. Alright, so we have successfully generated the hash for my password using the cryptographic algorithm which is pbkdf2. Quickly, let's open up a new terminal window. And now in the new terminal window, what we are going to do is we are going to modify a file which is 40 custom. What is the reason to modify this file? You will come to know in just a few seconds. So let's first go into the directory of grub, which is under the etc home directory. Once we are over here, we will quickly create a backup file of this 40_custom file. In case anything goes wrong, we can roll back all our changes. Now, once you are into this file, you need to modify this. So you can use nano or vim. I'm using currently nano. This is basically the configuration file which is required to give instructions that we need to set up a username password into our grub. We have already generated a hash, and we will now use that hash as password while we log in into the machine at the grub screen. So you can specify the name of the user over here. So I'm specifying the root user because I want to authenticate as the root user. So set super users as root and the password. So password underscore pbkdf2, the username once more, that is root, and the hash here. This is basically the hash that we have generated in the previous step, which is this. You need to keep in mind that you need to copy the hash from your password is. after that string completes and grub dot starts, you need to copy that, which is highlighted currently, onto the left terminal. So I'll just copy this quickly and you need to paste it over here. I already have an older hash which I will remove, and I'll replace it with the newer hash that we have generated recently. So we have successfully deleted the old hash and replaced it with a new hash value. Looks perfect. Now we are going to save this file. This hash and the new hash is exactly the same. So we need to save that file. So we'll quickly just say Ctrl S and we'll come out of the file. The next step is to make config. So we are going to give this command, which is grub make config -o, the configuration file of grub. By doing this command, grub will automatically verify that whatever changes that we have done in the configuration file are correct or no. It will also try to load the new changes that we have created in the 40_custom file. You can see it verified everything was correct. So now we are going to do a restart onto the computer. So we have used the command that is init6. You can see the computer is going to boot in 4 seconds, as can be seen over here, and it will present us a grub menu. Now, previously it used to just load the grub menu and start the Kali Linux machine where it would ask the username and password. But now here you can see it is asking a username and password at the grub screen itself. Now we need to give the correct username and password to the grub screen to verify that yes, we have the access to modify changes into this machine or the grub entry as well. Once we verify this correctly, this computer will now start and will present a new login screen for us, which is basically the user login to which we want to log in. So I have provided the correct username and password for the grub menu, which was root, and hit enter. Now you can see the famous Kali theme logo has successfully loaded, and here I need to log in. So I will use my username password, which is root and ABCD, and hit enter. You can successfully verify I have successfully logged in into my computer. So this is it for this lesson. I hope you guys understood how you can configure a grub password for your computer. Thank you.